Previously on BrianTheBlue Game Reviews.
Actually, I don't have an intro for this one. We're just gonna play BoxyBoy today. BoxyBoy for the Turbografx 16.
It's the early 90s. The 16-bit console war was in full swing with Nintendo's Super NES taking on Sega's Genesis, but some may or may not have known that there was a third console to choose from, that being NEC's Turbografx 16. Originally called the PC Engine in its native land of Japan, the TG16 was the earliest 16-bit system, coming out on October 30th, 1987, and was a powerhouse in its first years in the Japanese market, even outselling the Famicom for a spell. The Turbografx would eventually find itself stateside on August 29, 1989, a couple weeks after the Sega Genesis, but it still had a chance to make it big as it had plenty of games you would want. Action platformers, running guns, and shooters. Lots and lots of shooters. They even had some puzzle games, this being one of them. BoxyBoy.
This game was released in 1990 to about a whimper, as I could hardly find much of a critical response to it, but this game is actually an adaptation of Sokoban, a style of puzzle game that was widely popular in Japan, and I so happen to have played it before on the Watara Supervision of all systems, with the game Carrier. Sometimes you get your start in the weirdest of places. I'm also starting to realize that I've been reviewing a good amount of puzzle games lately. This is like my 4th of the last 5 episodes. Do I have a reason? Not at all. It just came to be that way. So let's continue to do what we do by taking a better look at BoxyBoy.
I'm pretty sure hardly any of you know what Sokoban is, but it's actually very simple, as I will demonstrate. Your job is to move boxes onto the yellow marks, and once you've done that with all the boxes that are present, you'll move on to the next round.
That's probably the shortest explanation I've ever given. Hasn't been this short since the first episode.
And I'm not kidding, that's literally what you do throughout the game, going from stage to stage, placing the boxes in their designated places. Sounds simple, right? Well, it is as you start, but there is more to it as you go, and I'll elaborate in a second. I want to mention first, when you begin the game, you'll have the American flag come up from the horizon.
God fucking bless. Oh, we're supposed to challenge America. I have the wrong anthem for this.
It's weird that we follow a cultural theme of sorts, as we play as a simple warehouse worker getting paid by the few stages. When you do complete a stage, you'll get congratulated for your efforts and receive a password for later. It'll be worth remembering them, cause you'll be given a reason to shut this game off in a moment. I can say for certain that the first 10 stages were fairly simple, but there were a few instances where I screwed up and had to restart. You can do so by hitting run and selecting that option. There's no lives in this game, just your knowledge if you could beat a stage or not.
Can't beat a stage? Well, that's on you, buddy boy.
And that became clear as soon as I got to stage 13. This is where I really got stuck. I mean, I did get stuck on the stages before, but I had somewhat of an idea on how to proceed. Unlike here, where I don't have a clue. I can get 3 of the boxes, but I have trouble with the 4th, and I think I have to avoid putting a box on this spot, but everything I do leads to nowhere, and I'm just getting furious.
And I can already see people typing in the comments, "Oh, you're a trash gamer, I could do better." I'll tell you what, you fucking couldn't, and you'll see why later.
Though it finally took me 10 minutes to figure out my error, it felt more like an hour. I tried stage 14 and that was just as hard and I gave up on it. Went to stage 15 and...
Yeah, I'm not getting any farther with this. I, for one reason or another, can't figure out this stupid game. The juxtaposition of it all.
Like, holy crap, this game got difficult real fast, and I'm only on the first several stages. And if this is difficult, there's no telling what lies after them, and there is more than just these, by the way. I know I can look at guides, but I think that defeats the whole purpose. I mean, I have no problem doing that for other games, but puzzle games? That's a step too far. I've been actually debating whether or not to release this review, as it's really embarrassing for me, my family, and my country.
I like how I got stuck on the American stages. I bet my life savings that the hardest stages are from Japan. I bet my bottom dollar.
I couldn't find the name of the composer who did the music, but I guess it really doesn't matter, as the tracks aren't really worth mentioning or good enough to remember. The tunes are fine for what they are, but for a puzzle game with this caliber of infuriation, it'll be the last thing on your mind when playing. You may even get annoyed by them after a while, as there's so few of them, that you may be better off turning the sound off when you have a chance.
If you want to save yourself from the torture, it could be worse. The songs could be Barney, or Baby Shark, or Raining Tacos. I'm not homeless, I'm working.
As much as I want to end this review as soon as possible, I have to do my due diligence and show you what's left. Of course, you have a password screen where you can enter in the passwords you got and pick up where you left off, or look up the passwords online so you can have a look at the 250 levels.
My god, I played 15 of them, so I've only played, what, 6% of the game? Fuck.
There's absolutely no chance I'll be trying any of these stages from other nations. I mean, just look at them. You think you or I am capable of that? To my surprise though, the last stage wasn't under the Japanese banner, but of the Chinese.
God damn, this is depressing.
The other option available to you is construction, where you can create your own Sokoban stages with a few different styles like what Mario Maker would do decades later. It's cool, but it'll be an afterthought when you flip the power switch off when you get frustrated over the main game.
I would rip this to shreds, but this goes for a pretty penny online. Not that I would sell it now, I have like half of the North American Library CIB, and I'll be attempting to get the full set in my lifetime.
I don't have an inkling as to how well this game did, but I do know it did get 2 other ports to computers, but that's how far it went. Sokoban games since then have been few and far between, with the last one being released in 2016 for mobile devices, and that's all I have left to say about it.
So, what is my rate to play? Now, I like to think I'm good at video games, but I'm not going to sit here in front of the camera and say I'm the best, because it just isn't true. But I sure as hell want it to be. But this game has put me back in my place and has reminded me that even the simplest of puzzle games can be just as hard.
Like I've said in the beginning of the video, I've been reviewing a good amount of puzzle games lately, and they've all been fairly simple in concept and easy to figure out. BoxyBoy is the same, but kicks its difficulty up mega fast. Sokoban is understandable in itself, but the TG16 version got so damn hard so quickly, and I thought Klax was more complicated than other puzzle games. This sure proved me wrong. I figured this would get difficult, but not so soon. I'm not sure if others would have the patience for that, but that would be your call. I certainly don't know, nor do I have the brain power to comprehend the ginormous task of moving boxes to their proper places in the appropriate way. Maybe if I knew that button 1 made me move faster and button 2 can make me go back, then I'd have more patience and take more time to think. Nah, I should know. Me and my 4-second attention span. What?
To conclude, I give this game a play rate of... play.
But that's only my opinion. If you have your own thoughts, leave a comment. If you like what you see, leave a like. If you think others would enjoy this, share it around the web. And if you want to see more, subscribe. Anyway, this has been BrianTheBlue Game Reviews, BoxyBoy, for the Turbografx. Brian here, want to quickly say thanks for watching this game review, as this and other content wouldn't be possible without you. I appreciate anyone and everyone who watches my videos from all across the world, but it alarms me that over 80% of viewers aren't subscribed to the channel. So I'd like to reiterate and ask you to subscribe as well as ringing the bell to stay notified. That way you can stay up to date with future content that'll appear on the Jacobians channel. Presently I put out new quick views and current calamities every month, and my brother Alex has a brand new show all about wrestling games called WrestleBound. You might want to stick around as we're only getting started. You can also find me on a couple of other channels. I run the Starfighters Arcade channel, where we take a look at the history of our machines on the floor as well as show you our new arrivals, and on Millennial X, where me, arcade buddies, and family get into shenanigans playing, hunting, and reviewing games. If you want to explore more content, these would be the first places to go. That's all the time I got, but be sure to click the icon now if you want to watch the previous or upcoming episodes of Game Reviews.